Hey guys, and welcome back to coverage of Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon news with me, PokeRangerMike. So I just wanted to go over the trailers that have launched today and yesterday about Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. And we'll just go down the kind of videos as they went and then kind of talk about what I think about them and what I think it kind of means for the games going forward. So the first thing they showed off was that we're going to be able to go through the Ultra Wormhole, which is kind of similar to the Mantine Ride as they showed in the last trailer. That is kind of a movement mini game in the way that we have to fly through this kind of void space and get to our destination. And in the Japanese version, they also showed that there are going to be some obstacles, which are these like bluish kind of glowing rings. So it's going to be a bit more interesting than just like flying through this empty space. Then they showed that we'll actually be able to kind of explore some of the ultra space. So they showed off an area where Nihilego is, and also showed off the area for Circuitry, which pretty much looks like a giant circuitry, which is kind of interesting. They also showed off this really unique area. It's kind of a jungle with volcano, and that seems to be the home of Buzzwole. So it's very interesting to see kind of the areas which inspire the habitats for these Ultra Beasts and what that means. And then they showed off something amazingly awesome, which was the Ultra Megaopolis, which is the home of the Ultra Recon Squad. And apparently it's a world where Necrozma has stolen the light. So as we saw in the last trailer for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, Necrozma kind of captured or stole away Lunala and Solgaleo, which they're considered to be light. They shine it. So it seems like in the past, Necrozma has stolen the light from this world, and that's why, as we see, like the Ultra Recon Squad has kind of blue tinged skin, which I assume is kind of the lack of light has caused this. And they seem to have these really awesome uniforms, which I really like. It shows that there's going to be two different teams for the two different games. So for Ultra Sun, we have Dulce and Zazie. And personally, I think that these two seem to have a more interesting dynamic. It just seems like Zazie is, that kind of innocent kid recruited for the military. So she's very spunky. So I think that, and then Dulce, I think he's going to be kind of straight man. So I think there's going to be a good dynamic there. But for the Ultra Moon, we have, I think you pronounce it FICO and Solaria. And FICO has got that mustache game on point. I mean, he's looking super spiffy with that. So that really excites me. The designs for both sets of squad members, I think, are really good. Solaria is kind of boring along with Dulce, but I think that as we go forward, we'll see more personality from them. I think it will be pretty good. Then they showed off a new Ultra Beast, that being Ultra Beast Adhesive, who is pure poison type, and already the internet has fallen in love with this guy, and it's just cute, honestly. I find it very interesting because the Ultra Recon Squad has these adhesives, and they're using them to battle. So I'm curious as to what that means. Do they control other Ultra Beasts as well? Are the Ultra Beasts just the Pokemon of their world? And what does this mean? Then they showed off the typings of the two Ultra Beasts we saw in the last video, that being Ultra Beast Burst, being a Ghost Fire. Honestly, I did not expect this. I would not have gone for a Fire Ghost type, especially considering we did have Alolan Marowak as that same typing. And honestly, I don't really see him being Fire Ghost, but that's what they decided to go with, so we'll have to deal with that. They also showed that his move Mind Blow It's a new move, and it's a fire type move, which appears to do 50% damage to you once you use it. So it seems like it is a very powerful move that does a lot of damage but has some serious recoil. Interesting thing with this is there are other moves which have recoil, such as Brave Bird, but they do damage based on how much damage you do to them. Meanwhile, this seems to just do 50%. So I'm curious to know if this means that if he were to use it again, would he drop to 25? That being half of 50, or would he just take damage down to 0, as that is the other 50% of his health? So we'll see as we get the game. Then they also showed off UB Assembly, him being a rock and steel type, which is pretty straightforward for his design. It's not too surprising, but it's not very unique either. But I do like it. And that was pretty much all the information that we got from the video. But we did get some extra scenes that were kind of interesting from the Japanese version. That being in the circuitry kind of area, there seems to be obstacles of lightning, kind of popping up on the like little zip tie areas. And then they also showed off where Faramosa kind of lives, which is this interesting kind of beach stone world. So not sure what the kind of inspiration for that is. And once again, we did see that there's more obstacles as you fly through the ultra space into different wormholes. So that's pretty cool. And now just kind of talking about the trail as a whole, what it means for the story. It's very interesting because they do show that Lusamine and your boy Guzma are returning. So it does seem that the Aether Foundation and Team Skull are still in play. And throughout the video, we see the Ultra Recon Squad appear at different key points within the story, even before the end game. So it was very interesting to see what that means. It seems like it's going to be mixing the two. What's interesting is that Lily is in her Ultra form, as we know from the original Sun and Moon games. So she seems to be a battler now, so I'm not sure if this is a sequel, as in she's come back from Kanto after training, or does this actually take place in a different timeline, so to say. And with that, it's interesting because we're the ones who kind of inspired her to move that way and kind of go off on her own. But in this, does that mean there was someone else who did it, or is it just in the future? So I'm curious to see on that. One of the other interesting things is that it seems like the Ultra Recon Squad is going to try to be capturing the Necrozma fusion. So whether you have Ultra Sun or Ultra Moon, will be Necrozma with Solgaleo or Necrozma Lunala. And they seem to be trapping the Necrozma fusion, so that way they can regain their light to their world. That would be my guess. So in that way, it's very interesting because it makes them victims in this. They're not the ones who are really an evil team. So I'm not sure if they're going to be considered an evil team. I wouldn't consider them to be. It's kind of, they're victims of their own misfortune, and they're just trying to help themselves out. So it is one of those situations where you have to wonder if calling them evil is the right thing. And I don't think it is. So I'm very curious to see how they're going to play. In the first Sun and Moon games, it was very kind of disappointing to have the Aether Foundation teased so early as being bad and not building up to it. It was shown off right away. So I'm really hoping that they're a bit more subtle, or they think through the motivations a bit more, and they're not cast as evil. But we'll have to see. And finally, I would just like to say that I love the fact that in the Japanese version, the name for adhesion or adhesive in America, so the Japanese version is Ultra Beast Sticky. So I just find that hilarious. And Want you guys to let me know what you think of the new information we got from these videos. What's your favorite part? How much do you love the new Ultra Beasts? So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll hopefully have more information as we go on. Hope you guys stay super fantastic. Bye.